Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how Sherry's doing here. 8 days out from the crash. She's doing much better now. Little lingering effects from the concussion, but overall it looks like she's on the road to recovery, making a full recovery. Maisie, on the other hand, took a little bit of a bruising also, and I'll show you what happened to her and what we're doing to get her fixed up. Well, I've got Maisie in the garage here, and I've already started working on her. The back of the mirrors both got scraped up a little bit, and what I've done is taken a razor blade and then sanding paper and sanded it down. So we're going to try to make the mirrors look really well. They won't look brand new, but they'll look better than what they did all scraped up. Also, this cowling here over the headlight and instrument got scraped up also, and I've trimmed and sanded that out, and we should be able to make that look fairly good. There'll be a few scrapes in it that are deep that we can't get out, but that will look pretty good. Also, both handguards took a little bit of a beating. They got bent, and I've already worked on those. Last night I got them out and bent them back into shape and got them put back on the bike and got everything straightened out. The handguards down here, you can see this particular handguard here, a lot of this top, whoops, a lot of the, kind of can't hang on to stuff here. The top of this got really scraped off, and so we've ordered some new ones and we're going to get that replaced. Sherry's going to spray on some cleaner new bike plastic restore here. We're going to see if that doesn't help bring out a little bit of the shine where the scuff marks are. We'll see how that does. That helps quite a bit. You can still see the sand marks. We might have to do a little bit of wet sanding with some ultra fine paper, but overall that really helps it out quite a bit. Takes out most of the dulled finish portion of it. Another thing that happened to Maisie here, you can see just the remnants of it, but her windscreen got busted off. We've got another one ordered and on the way. That'll be a pretty simple fix. There's just two bolts on either side, and we'll get that replaced, and that'll be easy fix. The Rotopax took a little bit of abrasion as the bike skidded down the highway right here and made a thin spot on it. The can actually had fuel in it, and I'm going to do a separate video on the Rotopax, but these things are pretty tough. The handle mount, as you can see here, got some scrapes along this side here. I've already gone ahead and taken a file to that and filed it down so that there's no rough edges to it. It's lost its color, but it's completely functional. The screw that was in it was damaged, and I've already replaced that. So this will be ready to go. We ordered a new Rotopax can, and that'll be an easy fix also. Sherry's applying a product here called Meguiar's Ultimate Black to her plastic here, and that is making a huge difference to taking that scuff mark out. Seems to be working really well. Probably the worst damage to Maisie was the front wheel. As you can see here, the rim got bananaed, blew out some of the spokes, and I can say that took a pretty heavy hit. I have already started working on that. I took the wheel off and dismounted the tire and tube, and then I went with some bolt cutters and cut all the spokes out. And we have subsequently sent the hub to Buchanan's out in California, and they're going to rebuild a front wheel for Maisie, and we should get that back probably in a couple weeks. The bent wheel made the bike inoperable. You couldn't run it in the condition it was in. Otherwise, the bike actually would have operated, even with the damage to it, it would have operated if the wheel hadn't been damaged so heavily. So we'll get that all fixed up, and then I'll give you I'm giving you the before now, and I'll give you the after we get all the new parts put back on. Hey everyone, look at this. Maisie has her wheel back now from Buchanan's. I'd sent them the bare hub, and they put new rim, new spokes on, and tuned it. And so Maisie's back on her feet, and everything's gotten fixed up here across the bike. And so she's ready to ride. I'm going to do an oil change here, and she'll be ready to ride. When I put the wheel back on, things were a little bit out of alignment from the crash, and I didn't think the fork tubes were bent after carefully examining those. I wasn't quite sure about the handlebars, whether or not they had been bent, but what I did is I loosened up at the bottom, right up here, at the clamp at the bottom of the triple tree. I loosened that up and allowed the tubes to twist a little bit, and that straightened everything right out. So once I had everything lined up, I reclamped up both sides of the triple tree and then tightened the axle up. Everything's in alignment now. In order to double check my geometry to make sure things weren't still out of whack or something was bent, I measured from the center of the axle up here to the center of the handlebar tube, and I did the same thing by picking a spot on the front end of the wheel and then measuring back up to here. And in doing those measurements, they were within a 64th of an inch, and so consequently things were straight. That's awful close, so any misalignment there is minuscule. So I think we're back in business here, getting Maisie back out on the road as soon as I get the oil changed in. Not so quick here. After taking a test ride on Maisie, she still had a wobble to her, and so it became pretty clear that even though I was optimistic that all the things that I diagnosed were wrong, wouldn't include the fork tubes, but unfortunately it did. So we had to take Maisie in to get the fork tubes rebuilt, but now she's back up and running. So what's our plans here since we shortened our TAT trail trip? What we're going to do up north now, it's snowing, so we'll pick up the TAT again in the springtime once the weather breaks a little bit. In the meantime, we have plans to do some custom parts videos, and I think we're going to do Daytona Bike Week this year. So stand by for more great videos.
And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe below.